Downstream from Lake James here in Morganton starts a stretch of the Catawba where the river actually works as hard as it plays, where power plants on the Catawba provide electricity, where filtration plants on the Catawba provide drinking water, and where industrial plants on the Catawba have provided jobs for generations.
The river works hard, and we try to mitigate as many impacts as we can as users of the water so the river doesn't have to do it. If we don't treat it well, it's not going to provide the livelihoods for everybody forever.
Brad Boris is Morganton's Water Resources Director.
We are actually the first water recipient of the water that comes out of Lake James. We're the first municipality, the first water intake. Our mission is to manage this resource. There's a lot of impacts that cause this river to work extra hard. And if there's a point where we're not managing the water resource to treat the water, to make it pristine, high quality, we don't have any excuses. I want my grandkids and your grandkids, great-grandkids to enjoy it. And without us doing work now, that's not going to happen.
Farther down the river, near the dam at Lake Rhodhiss, where the Catawba is blue and still, these lifelong river residents remember still the original Rhodhiss cotton mill just below the dam. The old mill buildings are long gone, but the workers back then were their families and friends. And now these mill workers' sons and daughters, raised on these waters, all have Milltown memories. Not fading memories, but clear as the river itself.
John Rhodes and George Hiss built a plant right here.
Rhodes, Hiss,
right.
Rhodhiss.
Exactly.
Sherry Sigmund grew up in Rhodhiss. That's her husband's mother and grandfather in this film from the 40s outside the old brick schoolhouse. And here above the Rhodhiss Dam at the rock quarry, well, Carl Compton shows us where he dog paddled in the Catawba as a child.
We was always told, don't you go to that river till you learn how to swim. Well, if you don't go to the river, how you gonna learn how to swim? You know.
So that's where you learned?
Yeah.
Dog paddle?
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, look. Back here you can see the horseshoe-shaped dam, and that trestle washed away in the 1916 flood.
Yep, Rhodhiss is another river town filled with those moments and memories.
It was a picnic area, and it was one of the train stops.
Everybody with their own river stories to tell and retell.
That's where I used to take kids when they wanted to go fishing first time.
But there's also one single moment here in Rhodhiss.
You know, when everybody read about it, we was excited, but...
They had a big party.
Yeah.
One shared memory in this river town.
When we went back to school, elementary school, let me tell you, the kids had something to talk about. We were proud. We were very proud.
Yes, indeed. They've got the flag up now, and you can see the stars and stripes on the lunar surface.
The employees didn't know.
Beautiful, just beautiful.
That they were weaving the material for the flag until the company put a notice up on their board when they landed on the moon.
Yep, we're floating outside of Old Burlington No. 2, the other mill in Rhodhiss, across the Catawba, that made the material for the flag that made it to the moon. Carl was working at the mill back then, so was Sherry's father.
Daddy came home, and we were emotional. I'm here to tell you, everybody in this town was so proud.
And today, Rhodhiss is still proud of its moment on the moon. You'll see the Apollo 11 flag on the Rhodhiss town flag, flying outside Town Hall. And inside Town Hall, well, here's a cutting from the original moon flag fabric, as this river town connects to that historic one small step.
And our employees were hard workers. They were dedicated to the job.
But eventually, even after the recognition of Rhodhiss by NASA for their work on the space program, those jobs disappeared. Those hard workers fell on hard times. And those two mills in Rhodhiss across the Catawba that employed so many for so long said, so long.
You know, these people's coming off the greatest high in achievement that they was going to do in their lifetime, and then to be standing under that rug when it's seemingly pulled right out from under your feet.
For 7 years, all the employees lived in fear because the first one left, the second one would leave.
Sherry still has the photos from those last days at Burlington.
Here's my dad, right there.
Wow. Her daddy and his longtime co-workers together on those last shifts.
It was like a death in the family. And my daddy called me and my daddy cried on the phone.
I'll have to find myself.
Carl lost his job at Burlington too.
Let's see right here.
The mills in Rhodhiss, just like the river, part of his earliest memories.
When we moved up here, I didn't get to start school till I was 7 years old.
But while the now empty mill alongside the Catawba stands as a bittersweet monument to better times, the river itself lives on. And when you live on the river, or fish on the river, or paddle on the river, you realize those better times really never left.
Okay, now the further up the lake you go, above Castle Bridge, the quieter it gets.
Because the Catawba is still here. The people are still here. The memories are still here.
We hope you enjoyed the story. If you don't want to miss any more great stories about the Charlotte region, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.